Good morning, quilters. Hello, I'm Tiffany. Welcome to my quilting live. We are going to have an episode of eating a donut. Yummy, yummy. So, it's Breakfast at Tiffany's, episode 33? Yes. We're going to have some fun. I came up with something. I will tell you what I'm doing, and that's how everything works when we do these. So let's see who is in the chat. We have Gloria, Sharon, Tracy, Nancy, Tracy, Sherry, Joyce, Kay, Judy, Shirley, Evelyn, James, Judy, Joyce, Donna, and lots more. Good morning, everybody. So I'm going to say this a few times in the video. Don't forget where this came from, this lovely 5-inch roll of 5-inch squares. Fat Tuesday Fabrics. If you go to Fat Tuesday Fabrics, which will be linked in the chat, you can get 10% off of your order if you use code TIFF10, all caps, TIFF10, TIFF10 at your checkout. In the checkout code, use code TIFF10 to get 10% off of your final purchase there, and that is good until May 4th. May the 4th be with you. So don't forget to check out Fat Tuesday Fabrics, and Scott put the link in. And it even says the code there. So that way you can get that. Go shop, go spend some money. Anyways, so today, if you didn't remember the other day, was it Sunday? Yeah. I opened my mail on.
How many 5-inch squares are on the roll?
I have no idea how many 5-inch squares. We're going to find out together how many are on this lovely roll, because I didn't cut it up yet, and I'm going to cut it up. So I have this roll. It's cute little bees and little honeycombs and flowers and so on and so forth fabric, okay? Then I dug through my stash and found a cutesy white with little bees that pretty much match the bees on here, but I'd say every bee on every bee fabric matches. Then I had a bunch of, like, my room is filled with scraps, and I had a bunch of this black color with little swirlies on it. They were, I don't know, 2¼ inch strips, but I cut them down to 2-inch strips. So I have the equivalent, I laid it on my board. I have the equivalent of 1.5 yards here of 2-inch strips. And then I have, I'm not going to use it all, but I think this is 2 yards of a yellow, which goes perfectly with all this. So what we're going to do is we're going to make 9 patches to go with this, using the black and the yellow, because, I mean, black and yellow, right? It goes with the bees perfectly. So I'm going to make black and yellow 9 patches, but we're going to cut 2-inch strips off of the yellow, and we'll put 2 blacks and a yellow in the middle, and then we'll do 2 yellows with a black in the middle, and then we'll subcut into 2-inch strips, or 2-inch segments, and then sew them together in 9 patches. But first, we're going to find out how many of these are on this roll by chopping this up first. So I'm just going to move this out of the way, and we're going to start by chopping apart all these 5-inch squares. So I'm going to grab a ruler. I have my rotary cutter, and I'm going to carefully chop them apart. And then I'm just going to pass them to Scott to count when I have a whole ton of them in my hand right here. Or
yes, I will do the counting.
So let's hope that I can separate them. We're just going to, like, let that unroll better.
I will get it.
All right, so I'm just going to start splicing them apart. And then he will count them so we can find out how many are actually on this roll. You can see him right in the corner of the screen unrolling it for me. seems like there's a lot on here. She sent me a picture of a quilt made with these rolls, so. It's hard to tell. This one's white next to white. I think that's it. If they're 5-inch or close to 5-inch, that's all that matters.
White on white.
I don't ever make anything perfect. So I'm trying to separate them. They all have a little, you know, line between them that's kind of there. There's a bunch to start with. It seems like there's a lot here. Feels like I've already cut like 20 of them. These are so cute. This is going to make an adorable quilt. I totally need more of these rolls in my life. And this is a faux panel stuff, so technically you can just cut 10 and then cut another row of 10 and piece them together like a strip and get yourself a faux quilt. And then when it comes to quilting it, you just quilt your fake seams, you know, in between each fabric. I mean, smart, right? For quick and easy quilts, just unroll your roll and make however many by however many. Kind of smart. Genius. Whoever thought of this? Genius. And I'm not one into the faux panels, but I mean, for stuff like this, for baby quilts and stuff, this is actually really good. Good idea. I wish I would have thought of it. I'm just kidding. I don't design fabric or the pre-cuts, so I would have never thought of it. I did think of, you know, making my own fabric, my own scrap fabric by the bolt, which is awesome because I can have a quilt top with however much I need to make a quilt top with, or I can make backing fabric. It doesn't matter because I'm going to move them around.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to blend in those other ones and then use it with the border as well.
So far you got 20 plus whatever's there.
Well, so far there's 20 plus whatever's there. And I'm still going. This is going to take me a minute. There's a lot here, it seems like.
Yep.
So I'm going to make a pretty good sized quilt because I'm adding 9 patches to this. Just to make things more interesting. Because we have to make interesting quilts here at Tiffany's Quilting Life. And everything will match, so that'll make this super cute. It's probably going to be lap quilt size. Probably cut that one a little crooked, but whatever.
Well, we're at 40 already.
We're at 40 already. So it's more than a charm pack. It's probably the equivalent of 2 charm packs. Maybe more. A charm pack usually has 42 pieces.
It's at 50.
It's at 50 already.
You still have half a roll to go.
And I still have a lot to go.
Oh, no, there's the end of it.
Oh, did you find the end?
Yeah, I found the end. If he ever gets in here.
He's probably napping.
Yeah, he's in here.
That cat just, you know, naps so much. Sometimes I wish I was a cat so that I could nap all day. You know, aren't there those days in our lives where we just want to sleep? Just want to sleep a whole day. Just stay in bed and don't do nothing and sleep. Catch our bodies up on healing itself and recovering from the crazy work week or whatever we had going on, you know? I know I have it all the time because there are days that I'm in pain and I'm like, I'm not getting up. And then I get up and I'm like, okay. I kind of just manage my way through the day. We all have that. But 90% of the time I end up in here and it's soothing and relaxing, which is a good thing.
Okay, we're at 70 and we're getting close.
We're at 70. Woohoo! We're getting close to it being 2 charm packs worth.
That's probably what it is.
Yep, try 2 charm packs worth on 1 roll.
What would that be? 2 charm packs.
42 and 42 is 84.
Okay.
Oops. Well, that's funny because it's a fresh blade. I know I just changed the blade in my rotary cutter in the fabric room too. I kept saying I was going to do it and then I never did it. And finally I went ahead and did it because I reminded myself to do it because I filmed a video in that room. And you guys have probably all seen it. My epic scrap video. Like, seriously.
Okay, we're at 80.
And Tuesday will be the first project from that roll. That bolt.
There's 88.
There's 88. Oh, so this is just a smidgen more than 2.
Unless I counted wrong.
Unless you counted wrong. Well, that kind of makes sense. 8 across by 10 down, right?
Yeah.
Makes 80. So it'd be like 81 across by, 9 across by 10 down. Is that what it'd be? All right.
9 across by 10 down would be 90.
Oh, so no, if it's 88, it wouldn't be.
This would be 8 by 10.
All
8
right.
by 11, I mean.
Now I'm going to go ahead and cut 1 5-inch strip off of this. The rest of it's going to be towards the border. I just want to blend these bees in. Maybe I should probably do this. Move that out
Do you want me to
of
put
my
all
way.
these together now, or should I keep them in my stacks?
Just keep them in your stacks for now.
Okay, well this one only has 8, that's why I don't know where to put it.
Oh, just stick it over there somewhere.
Huh?
Just stick it over there somewhere. I am hitting nicks or something in the board, in the cutting mat. I just flipped this thing too, like, I don't know, 2 months ago. All right, so I'm just going to cut a 5-inch strip off of here. The rest of it is towards my border. I just want to blend those fabrics in so that everything looks like it goes together. Because sometimes we have to do that with our projects. I'm just cutting 5-inch squares off of here. And I'll get 8 of them. Yes, I will show the knee lift when I get started with the sewing. I told whoever to remind me. All right, those can go over there. That go in the garbage. And now we're going to cut some 2-inch strips off of the yardage. I'm going to guess right here. I think it's this pile. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
You want me to count them?
No, I need to cut like Hold on. I'm going to do this real quick. I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I need about 16 off of here of 2-inch strips. All right, so I'm going to cut 16 2-inch strips. Obviously, that will change, but for now, we're just going to cut 16. I'm assuming that's going to be close to what we need. 2-inch strips. Normally, I don't cut 2-inch strips, but we're making 5-inch 9 patches, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, shoot. 7. That one might be a little screwed up. I may have caught it, though. No, it's screwed up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I will make up for it in the seam allowance when I sew these. All right, what was I at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oops, turn it back to the 2-inch side. Woo! I was going to start cutting at 2.5. 9. 10. You know what? I'm just going to cut 10 for now because I feel like I'll be cutting forever. We're just going to make a bunch of combos. I don't even know how many 9 patches we're going to end up with. So, all right. I am going to grab these ones right here. Place that ruler way up there out of the way. Make sure this one is right here. What I'm going to do is, because some of these were full-length strips, just missing the selvage, I'm going to make some combos of black, yellow, black, and then yellow, black, yellow. All right, so Scott will bring the camera over here so you can see how this knee lift thing works for those that were curious. So, come down here. Can you see this part and my leg? Yeah. So, right here, sorry for the darkness on this side. So this is the knee lift, okay? It's this rod that has special pins in it. So this one does not fit in my other machine. So you have to make sure that it's the correct one for the correct machine. Then it slides into a hole. You got to make sure that your machine is far enough back on your, or far enough forward on your desk that it's not rubbing and you can stick a finger between the knee lift and your desk, or else it's going to rub on your desk. So make sure the machine is forward enough. Then you would place everything back where it goes, like this. And every time I go to stick fabric underneath, so I'm going to line these up real quick, right sides together. I'm going to use my knee right here. And the lever is under my, it's literally sitting at the edge of my knee up here. So I just move my leg like this, and it lifts the presser foot. So then I would just lift it right here, slide my stuff under, which you can't see me doing because the camera is a little too far down, and lift. So if I need to adjust while I'm right here, I just use the knee lift. You literally just use your leg. And when I'm standing, I do the same thing. I'm going to keep the camera where it is for 2 seconds so you can see. When I'm standing and sewing, I just go like this. I just take my leg and exercise, and it hits the knee lift just right. All right, you can put the camera up at the sewing.
Over here?
No, right here. Sorry. So now I'm just going to sew these strips and make units. So I line them up, and now I'm going to just hold it. This is my sewing strips trick. I have the whole thing, the bottom one on my middle finger, the top one above my first finger, so my first and second finger are like this, and then I use my thumb to adjust. So in case you're curious how this works, then I just slide it through. You can see I'm adjusting with my thumb as I go. And then when I get to the very end, and then there goes that knee lift again. So I just used the knee lift. I'm going to go ahead and always press each of these units that I make to the dark. So towards the black. And I'll leave the camera here enough to make 2 different units. And then we'll put it back in front of me. So I'm just finger pressing for now. I'm spreading the seam open if you haven't noticed with my fingers. I do this instead of like that. I kind of just use all my fingers to do this. And then I just finger press it open. I'm going to come back to the beginning now. And I'm going to grab another strip of yellow and put it on that black side now. Open that up. Line it up. Use the knee lift so you can see I'm lifting with just my knee. It's really easy to get used to. On some machines, though, it's further to the side, which is what my Juki HCLF 600, it's kind of more to the side, so you literally have to sit in front of the machine. But this one is more towards the middle, so it allows me not to have to sit directly in front of the machine, which I don't like to do. Ooh. My strip stayed straight. It makes this whole process easier. All right, so there's a black, yellow, black, yellow combo. So I'm just going to finger press towards the dark for now. And then when I get enough units made, we'll go over and press them all. So for now, finger pressing is good before you get to the iron because you've already pushed that seam to one side so that it doesn't fold over when you get to the iron. It helps just a little bit. So for now, I'm just going to move this out of the way, and we're going to make a black with yellow in the middle combo, like this. So it'll be black, yellow, black. So I'm going to go ahead, open the strip up, open this strip, and slide it on through. And it's nice to have the magnetic seam guide. I 100% highly recommend it for those of you who can't see or sew straight. Yeah, you can find it at any shop. I have a ton of links. Fat Quarter Shop, I know for a fact, has it. I do say that this longer one is better than the shorter one. So, I mean, those you can probably find on Amazon. And some of them even come with the seam guide measuring thing along with it so that you can stick your needle in the hole at whatever seam measuring that you want and then line that up to it. I know there are marks on the mat, but I mean on the needle plate, but I don't ever really use those unless I'm making quilt backing, because this I don't use when I'm doing quilt backing. All right, so now I'm going to attach my black to the other side. Twisted. Oh, I still. All right, and I'm going to press this towards the black. So that's what I'm doing. I'm making units that are like this. I need more of the units that are yellow, black, yellow. Actually, it doesn't matter. They could be black, yellow, black, whatever. I just need to chop them up in sew 9 patches. I don't think it's going to matter in the final quilt if they're all the same or not. All right, you can put the camera back and plug it back in. I'm going to iron in a minute. I'm going to make some more of these. Yeah, I will when I make some more of these.
Put the camera back over here?
Yep. All right, camera is moving. Camera is moving. There's a thumper. Camera is still moving, and I'm looking at the thumper. Camera will be adjusting. Yep. Because I'm actually sitting to sew today instead of sanding. Not sanding, standing. Woohoo! I can't talk. I'm not sanding. Whew.
Sandpaper out.
Oh, looks like I'm making a black, yellow, black combo because that's what I grabbed.
What do you use to sew?
I use my right foot to sew, knee lift or not knee lift, but I do use my left foot to sew when I'm standing to sew, and I still use my right leg to use the knee lift. So I could swap feet to sew. I can drive a car. If I lost my right leg and didn't have one, I could still drive because I can do the gas and the pedal, the driving pedal with my left foot. I taught myself how to do that, but then it's because I drove a stick for so long, a standard transmission. So I'm used to being able to use 2 feet. I know, left foot's supposed to be clutch only, but I know. Yes, when my hips started getting worse, I stopped driving a stick. Scott had a standard transmission car until just what, I don't know, last year.
Yeah, just last year.
I drove sometimes, but I never really drove his car because that clutch was hard.
You drove it once when we first bought it, that was it.
I drove it twice.
Oh, I'm sorry. Twice when we first bought it.
Yeah, but that clutch was so hard. But any other car that we've ever had, I drove.
The Nissan that we sold was
yeah, we had a Nissan 350Z here that we sold for a friend, but we drove it around town so everyone can see the, for sale sign on it. And that clutch was like superb. It didn't hurt my hips at all because I stopped driving a stick before that too because of my hips. And yeah, but his hips are messed up now and his knees have always been messed up. So he's got an automatic now. But 90% of cars that are in America are all automatic anyway. So it's kind of hard to find a standard transmission these days. We were just talking about that last night. We were watching a movie and what was it called? Murder Mystery. with Jennifer Aniston and Adam Sandler, and in movie 1 and in movie 2, Murder Mystery 2 and 1. Jennifer Aniston, because they're in different countries, she gets in the car and she's in the driver's seat after Adam Sandler says, "Oh, I'm driving." They didn't realize in the first movie, oh, it's on the opposite side. And then in the second movie, they thought it was the opposite side because they were in a different country, and she gets in and she's on the correct side. It's kind of funny. And one was a Lamborghini and one was a Ferrari.
Yep.
I wouldn't mind driving either one of those. Scott said that's probably how I would drive through in that movie. I'd be the crazy lunatic driver. All right. This one can get a yellow. We need more of the yellow, black, yellow combos if that's what we're starting with color-wise than I would of the black, yellow, black, because that would be the middle. And if I use the black as the main one, then I would need more of that unit, black, yellow, black, instead of whatever. And I think I'm going to use the black as the main unit color. How does a bumblebee's stripes go? Does it go black, yellow, or does it go yellow, black?
Does it really matter?
I know it doesn't matter, but I'm just curious. Their heads are usually black, right? So that would be black, then yellow, then black, right?
Well, how would you know if there's a black stripe after the black head? The head would just go.
Yeah, I don't know. I
All
guess.
have a yellow stripe after the black head, but yeah, you wouldn't know that.
All right, I'm gonna make.
Well, this one has a yellow head, so
Yeah.
then it has a black after it. So it goes yellow black, but if it has a black head to start.
All right, I'm gonna make. Oh, black, yellow, black unit now. Yeah, because that's the main one I want to use, I think. I came up with this on the fly, you know. But I did it a week ago. Or not a week ago, but on Monday. Did I do it on Monday or Sunday? I think we chose Sunday after the live when I said I was going to use it.
Yeah.
I did. I went in my fabric room and chose all this and cut it all out. Okay. Grab this. Sew this one on. Can you turn the iron on now? Thank you. All right, so I have one more unit of, let's see, I have 3 black, yellow, blacks, I have 2 black and yellows. We'll get started on these and then we'll do more. All right, so I'm going to go over to the ironing board. Camera is moving. Well, in a second.
You can show them your new iron board.
Yep.
Cover.
You guys can see what I went and gone and done on my ironing board. All this out of my way. All right. So now I'm just going to make sure that these stay flat.
Show me your item board first?
Oh, I made it purple, and this is canvas fabric, or I don't even know. You can use it.
Like canvas.
You can use it for no, it's cotton. Yes, canvases are cotton. Yeah, so it's what I would have used for lining in a bag, but I just put it on top of the regular ironing board. I actually did a layer of foam this time to see how well this works. I made this a removable cover so that I could wash it, and it's just got elastic running through it. But then I put a layer of foam, and then one layer of polyester batting and 2 layers of cotton batting. And they're all sprayed together. That's why they're kind of stuck to each other.
Cut pieces, right? Yeah,
they were all cut pieces from under the ironing board where I store all my extra leftover pieces. So it's really thick. The only problem I'm having is every time I pull fabric from one side to the other, it's pulling this up here like this. Because the elastic isn't as tight as I thought it was, but it feels really tight. And I have no steam in my iron, even though I made this ironing board cover specifically for lots of steaming. But unfortunately, this iron leaks water now, so there will be no steaming. There's one unit done. Let's move those out of the way. So since I finger pressed, it made it really easy to press this. So I kind of just use my fingers to keep it flat as I push the iron along it like this. That way everything stays nice and flat and I don't get any buckling. All these layers, though, really penetrate through the fabric, which is good with the iron, because I was pressing fabric last night like crazy, and it was amazing. So I'm glad I did this to the ironing board. And I made it like a fitted sheet, too, so the sides actually are seamed on the cover. And I tell you, since I've been, since we made this ironing board in the beginning of my sewing journey, this is the best thing we've ever done, was make a large ironing board, because I can press yardage really nicely and easily because it's wider than the yardage that comes off the bolt. All right, this one is pressed in towards the yellow. So I'm going to run it on one side and then come back and run the other side. Pull it open just to make sure it stays nice and flat. Flip it to make this easier on myself. There we go. All right, now to subcut. So Scott will move. Yep. Camera's moving again. I know. Someday we'll have to move the camera around, but for now, it's what we got. All right, I'm going to stack these in a staggering motion on top of each other. I'm literally just putting the seam above the next seam. And I'm going to go ahead and cut all these at the same exact time. Next seam above the previous seam. Since it's all nice and straight, it's working out perfect. Next seam above the previous seam. One more. All right. So I'm going to cut 2-inch segments now because this whole entire thing is 2-inch segments because I cut 2-inch strips. If you did this with 2.5-inch strips, you'd do the same exact thing. All right. Nice. Cut off all the selvages. I'm pretty sure I got them all. Looks like it. All right. So I'm going to do 2 inches. I'm just going to cut this whole entire thing up. This is just an easy way to make 9 patches because now the units are mostly put together. Which makes it a little easier. Slide all that out of the way. Carefully slide this down. Go. And this is going to give us 5-inch 9 patches. I need to cut a fresh straight line because it's slightly adjusted itself. Oh, what did you guys think of my epic scrap busting video the other day? I think it was a hit. It was so much fun to create all that. Like, I spent days, not hours in each day, but I spent days and days and days cutting fabric before I even turned the camera on. My epic scrap busting, but you guys are going to get a video coming soon that shows, make sure I got all these, yep, one more, that shows how to use what I made, my yardage.
Does it mean if you're using 2.5-inch strips that you cut 2.5-inch pieces?
Yes, if you're using 2.5-inch strips, then you would cut 2.5-inch pieces. Will give you a 6.5-inch 9 patch. I am going for a 5-inch 9 patch. All right, so I'm going to take my black, yellow, blacks and stack those together.
Do you want me to help you with that?
Got it. We'll stack all the yellow, black, yellows together. They're all on top, so it makes it easy. I just grab the layers from the top. And since everything is pressed towards the dark, when I go to sew these together, it should all nest right up. Remember, and I needed twice as many black, yellow, black combinations as, because they're going on the top and bottom. But I could have done both combinations. It's, you know, however you want to do it. All right. I don't think there's twice as many there, but we're going to sew what we got for now. So I'm going to take a black, yellow, black, and then a yellow, black, yellow, and then another yellow, black, or black, yellow, black, and then I'm just going to sew them together as a 9 patch. So I literally can nest these seams right up. They're in opposite directions of each other. Just hold it, line the block up, sew my 1/4-inch seam. I'm going to press it towards the middle. Then I'm going to grab my other side and sew it on. And everything should nest right up. Let me press this guy and show you my 9 patch. So I'm just going to press it whatever, which way. I'm just pressing it away from the center, it looks like. So this is what I'm making. And I'm going to alternate these with the 5-inch squares. So let's make a few of them and then we'll get them onto the wall so you can see what we're doing here. So I need 2 of these per every one of these. So technically I can just sew like 10 real quick, chain piece them. That's what I'm going to do. And then add another side. Two. Since I don't really know how many I cut. This is all just a guessing game. I didn't pre-plan that part. I just knew what I was doing. I also wrote down yellow first combo, but I like the idea of the black first. And I dug through my room trying to find a yellow print that would match all this, but I couldn't find one. So we just went with a solid, which the black reads solid, but it has little swirlies on it. Make quite a few more. This is pretty fun to do. Making little 9 patches. It's actually been a while since I made a 9 patch. Just a simple little 9 patch block. I always do other things. Let's make like 5 more. And then we'll see where we're at. Because I still have enough fabric to make more combinations. No, oops. All right, let's throw in a few more. I said I was going to do 5 more, and look at me making like 6 or 7 more.
What kind of vacuum do you use in your sewing room?
A vacuum to sew the room. We have is it a Hoover or something like that?
Just a cheap Walmart.
Just a cheap Walmart vacuum.
Yeah, it was $60.
Yeah, it was $60, and we got it when we changed our floors. Because now we have 2-pile, is what it's called, carpet, which is thicker than the one that was originally in here. Plus we have, was it 3/4 inch foam or half-inch foam or something like that? 3/4 inch foam underneath. So we needed a vacuum that can do really good. And this one was the one that the actual carpet guy actually had and used. So we bought the same one because we realized, oh my God, that really works great. So we bought it. We've had it a few years now and it works amazing every time.
You use a carpet mat for your chair to move easier.
I have a carpet mat. Yes, I have two actually. One's broken and it's a hard one, which is more flatter for the chair because the new one that we bought, the chair doesn't roll around on it on the carpet by itself. So we had to put my broken one back underneath. Oh, black. So yeah, I have two under the chair. But carpet, even though it gets really dirty in here, Scott keeps up with it and keeps it clean for me. I 100%, because we sew barefoot and or with socks on, but either way, that's still considered bare feet. You don't have shoes on when you're sewing. Most of us sew barefoot, and you can give yourself a bunch of foot problems if you are standing on tile or linoleum, laminate, the hardwood floors. If you're just standing directly on that for long periods of time while cutting or sewing standing like I do, but mainly cutting and ironing that you're standing for, you're going to realize your feet are going to start to kill you. And I love that we chose at first that they were trying to tell us do the hard floor in here, the people that did the, flooring. But I was like, no. They said it'll be easier to clean. No, I got carpet, and I'm glad I have carpet still because it really helps my feet from hurting more than they already do. But it can make foot problems worse. I'm gonna just put this over here in the throat space, make it easier. Come on. Thank you. So I'm just chain piecing these through, finger pressing along the way. They're not perfect, but guess what? I don't care. And even if you don't have carpet, you can get a carpet. Those floor carpets. You can get a area carpet and get foam and put it underneath. Or anti-fatigue mats. Those are a help because I use those at the long arm. The chairs don't roll around on anti-fatigue mats, unfortunately. We tried that. No. It doesn't work. You get stuck. I'm like, oh, I can't roll it. I tried working in shoes, though. We bought shoes specifically for me to wear only in the house. Because we don't wear shoes in our house. But I bought shoes that have never walked outside. They've only walked in the house. And, well, I just can't sew with a shoe on my foot. For some reason, the foot pedal and the shoe, they don't get along. I don't know why. And when I'm standing at the long arm, I feel so weird with shoes on. I mean, if I was at actual business and had a brick and mortar store, or something, I can see wearing shoes to work while sewing. But when you're just at home, it's a lot easier to just go barefoot. But sometimes being barefoot could make our feet have problems. Especially if you have arched feet like me. Whew. Super arched. Any other questions while I'm sewing? You guys can ask questions.
They don't sew with their shoes on either.
Yeah, I don't think I've known anybody to sew with their shoes on. All of my local friends sew barefoot and everything. I don't think anybody sews with their shoes on. And the ones who do is probably because you have concrete floors or something, and it probably hurts your feet, so you wear shoes. I don't know. I would never want to sew. I would never want a whole entire office on a concrete floor. My goodness, that would suck.
Wait, the McCluskey's whole house, and it's not bad because it has that glazing on.
Yeah, but I just mean the hardness of it. Like I can barely walk the concrete floors when I go to QuiltCon, because those are concrete floors and those kill me. Whew, just walking on them with shoes on even. I wouldn't be able to do that at home. But it is a style. People do the concrete floors these days. I mean, it looks nice. Especially when they're epoxied all nice. Oof. They can do some really cool stuff with the flooring these days. We had an estimate come out, but it was way too much than having regular floors like we have now put in. But we thought about it, at least for out there in the hallway.
I bought a fat quarter bundle a year ago. I opened it and found a very large panel. I also purchased a pattern that is 2 different squares. It ends up being approximately 3 in overlap. Do I use sashing around the border to make it fit?
Yes, you would use sashing to make it fit, yes. I've had, and I still have a fat quarter bundle that has, it's a Christmas bundle actually, that has a panel that comes with it. And yeah, you would just, if you're making something up or even following a pattern, if it doesn't land like it's supposed to, then definitely go ahead and, there's a word, I'm looking for a word. Use sashings or borders or whatever. I'm just going to press these. What's the point of finger pressing? All right. I'm over at the iron real quick, but you guys can continue asking questions while I'm right here. No. Well, you can turn it if you want to.
Oh, yeah, they want to see your iron board tomorrow. They like that iron board. Yeah. I think it's awesome. They want to see it.
Yeah. Camera's moving. Sorry. I forgot to pre-warn. I'm not used to just having a hot iron. I'm used to being able to steam. This is driving my brain nuts.
I can plug in the other iron.
No, it's fine.
We have it motor.
No, I do have another iron that steams. There's only one left. I plugged this one in last night, though, because I needed the longer cord. This one has a really long cord. My blocks just seem flatter having all this padding on the ironing board. Just makes sense to me. To allow that heat to, make its way through the fabric easier instead of having the hard surface underneath with just a layer of whatever heat protectant stuff. All right, so let's put some of this on the wall so you guys can get a general idea of what I'm doing here. I didn't press this one. All right, you can turn the camera now. Let's get a general idea of what I'm doing, and then we'll piece some more. How many did you say I had? 88?
88.
89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96. What's a layout that equals 96? Whatever times whatever to equal 96.
Can't do 96 off the top of my head.
Oh, no, I can't
12 and 8.
All right. I'm going to lay it like this. Can I see up here? Oh. We're just going to go every other block with a 9 patch. I don't know how many across and how many down because I don't know. I got to make a lot more 9 patches apparently. Oh yeah, this is definitely going to be a lap quilt. All right. So we can end with one of those and start with one of those.
More than 8.
How many is that? We're just taking a wild guess. We'll move things around as needed, obviously.
Yeah, if you're going 8 by 12, you got way more. But you have way more blocks. You made more blocks.
Yeah, I made more blocks. That's why I just corrected myself and said
it's not actually 96.
96, you know. Oh, this is going to be so adorable. Oops. Come on. Oh, there's 2 close together. That's the same one. That's a different one. Oh, yes. I love this. This is the Bumblebee quilt. I definitely love doing just simple stuff like this, pairing 9 patches with squares. We're definitely going to have to make a lot more 9 patches, though. Next row will have that there. So I need to figure out how many more 9 patches I need to make. So I'm just going to stack these right here. Replace that with that. That way those are mixed in. Just mix these in. Okay. Let's make some more 9 patches. See, it touched the carpet. Couldn't get it back on when you're sitting in it. Oh. All right. One, two. We're doing this. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Grab that stack and sew these. And then we'll cut some more yellow and make more. This is going to be so adorable.
Cute.
What?
Just totes cute.
It's totally adorably cute. Huh? I'm just silly, that's why.
I know.
I gotta use my real name. Too funny. Okay, just lay there, right there. Not all of my seams are perfect here, people. You know why? Because I am not a perfect sewer. And it keeps trying this stupid machine bed. I really wish Juki would have made this flush right here and not a lip, because it grabs every single seam and flips it. So I literally have to hold it. And I can feel the other side flipping even though I'm holding the one side down. So annoying. Drives me crazy. I have some more of these.
What's the biggest quilt you ever made?
The biggest quilt I ever made was 120 inches by 120 inches. And it was a show quilt, which is on a bed. Now on a bed. It was meant, it won at a show and then it was sold. So it hung at a show and went to the person that owns it. All right. That out of the way. Sew the other sides of these on. I'm literally just gonna go like this. Hold that and sew. And that seam decided to flip from the top side. Oh well. Can't guarantee that everything is perfect here. As long as we're having fun, that's all that matters in my world. You know?
Right, because I think every machine has that lip before you.
Yeah, I don't know why they can't make them flush. I don't get it. There's room there. There's room underneath. They could have just embossed. Is that the word for it when they cut it out? When they cut out the initial thingamabobber
I don't know.
to put the plate on here, you know,
Just the mold.
carved it out or whatever. Yeah, the mold for it just needs to be changed. Yeah, the little one on my brother PRS, not PRS, brother, what is that called? The SQ9285, that one has a lip too. And that's a plastic set down in bobbin with the whole tray thing. And yeah, it's
the SQ9285.
It's drove me crazy forever. And then I got a Juki and bam, it drives me crazy too. My other Juki is more flush. The HZL F600 machine, that one's a lot more flush. That one doesn't grab. But this one does. Huh?
Can you put tape across it?
I've had tape across it. The tape just gets messed up from constantly sewing on it. But yes, I've tried the tape thing. It doesn't work. It just gets messed up. I did that for a long time, and then I kept putting a new piece of tape and a new piece of tape, and it just kept over and over. It just makes a mess. So I just live with it and hold these things down with my fingers as best as I can. One, and then I'll press all these, put them on the wall, and make a ton more. Snip, snip, snip. Grab a snippy thing. The snippy thing I'm using can be found at Fat Quarter Shop, or, well, I think everywhere has it, but it's a Blade Saver, the Gypsy Quilter one. Blade Saver. Purple Hobbies, that's what it is. Purple Hobbies Blade Saver. You can find that on Fat Quarter Shop. Those are amazing. Having those so you can save your blades. All right, so I'm just going to press these real quick. We don't need to move the camera. Burn my finger while we're at it. Not bad, not bad. Some of these nested perfectly, and then some of them are like almost 1/8 of an inch off. Why? Because I just don't pay attention to what I'm doing, I guess. I mean, I do, but when you're just having fun, it really doesn't matter. Almost done. I'll throw these on the wall and see where we're at. Probably need to make like 80 more. Which is okay because I have plenty of yellow and I have plenty of this black. It may not be full length pieces of the black because not all of it was full length pieces, but I will make it work. The strips are cut 2 inches wide for the 9 patches, and that allows you to get a 5-inch 9 patch. If you do 2.5 inch, you'll get a 6.5 inch 9 patch. If you do 3 inch, then you'll get 8.5, I think. No, 8. You'll get 8 inch, I think. Sorry, I'm trying to do math in my head, and math is not my forte. I do not know how to position a knee lift if you're too far away from it. No. Sorry. Yeah. Every machine is different. Ooh, there's a lot of those right there. We got to put some color right there. All right. So I need to make a whole bunch more. So what I'm going to do that is cut some more yellow. I have 2 strips there, but let's cut like
that's not very big quilt
a bunch.
So far. That'd be a baby quilt.
Yeah. So I'm just going to cut a bunch more 2-inch strips.
You could just leave it as it is and pull some from the side down and just make it a baby quilt.
No. We're going lap size here, my friend. Lap size. Do we have a fly in here? Is that what that was?
It's a little net. It just flew on my screen. I thought it was my mouse moving on its own with the net. I don't know where it went now.
There was a gnat following me when I was outside this morning. I was like, what the heck? Just go away, thing. It's that time of the year where the gnats are it's so annoying. And I made that not work again. Darn it.
We don't get bugs. We don't have much.
Nope. I really screwed this piece up, though. Oh, I could make it work. But this, I cannot. I'm not very good at cutting today. My cutting skills have, like, turned into some kind of, what the heck is going on?
Your cutter's brand new. Why does it keep making clicking noises? Is what I'm wondering.
Because
it's making click, click, click,
it's
click.
clicking because there's no separator anymore. The plastic piece is gone. Yeah, I don't know. Both of them do. The one in this room and in that room. They both make that funny sound. I'm just cutting. So I had cut 10 originally. We're going to give you another number just because Karen will write this up. So I'll keep updating what I'm doing because Karen is so amazing and writes up stuff for me.
You could use your stripology ruler.
Yes, I could. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. One more. So 20 strips is where I'm at now from the yellow. All right. Let's make some more strip units.
Oh, there's bees in the sunshine, bee square,
Yeah.
bees knees, just keep believing.
Just keep
Be
believing.
cautious.
That's
Bees
how
in my bonnet.
you guys are coming up with some awesome names.
Yeah, I asked them. Behaving.
Behaving.
That was mine.
This quilt isn't behaving though. See, I don't have full-length strips here, so I'm going to work with what I got. I'm going to have a little bit of excess, but
be cautious.
Be kind to one another.
Yeah, there you go. Be kind. That's a good one. Cool as that.
Be kind. Save the bees. There's a lady that's a bee whisperer is what I call her on YouTube that I watch, and she does short videos where she goes and removes hives, and she doesn't cover herself up with anything or wear any special whatever. She goes and finds the hive that's annoying somebody's house, and then she relocates them, and she saves the bees. That's how she ends her videos. Let's save the bees. And once the queen is removed anyway, you put a queen in another spot, the whole hive follows. So it's really awesome to watch those videos.
Beware because.
All right, 1, 2. Well, each one has to have one. How many do I have? 1, 2, 3. Okay. One more. This. Oh, one fell on the floor.
There you go. Be warm.
Be warm under this quilt. So now I'm going to go ahead and cut off the excess of these and then use, because the other strips are even longer, what I'm going to do is use some of those for some of these. So that way I can make all the combos that I need to make. Is that it? Okay. So now these ones I'm going to add a black to the opposite side. I'm just going to finger press them first. Remember, I'm working with scraps here, so these were scrap pieces of the black fabric. They were probably from like a border or something. Slide those on that side, trying to keep everything nice and flat.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
That's a good one.
Yes, that is a good one. We could always just take a name from the Transformers. Bumblebee.
There you go.
You
Yeah.
name it Bumblebee.
There you go.
Because it's transformed into an amazing quilt. All right, now for black on the side here. Oops. I guess I had more pieces than I thought right here because that one was hooked to this one. I didn't see it. Oh, look at that. There was two wrapped up in these. Okay, yep. Whew. So now I need to make 3, because there's 5 here, I think. I don't know how many are here. We're going to see right now, though. I will count and put them on my lap. There's 4. So I should make 2 yellow, black, yellow.
Feed myself a little.
Just what?
Instead of feed,
Just beat myself a little.
quilting bee.
We could also, instead of using the word bee, we could say the swarm.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. Let me press these. There's 4 of these, so I need to make 2, because for every 2 I need 1 of those. So, okay. two.
Way down on
You guys are silly. He isn't making us laugh. All right. So yellows now for a yellow, black, yellow combo.
Sting, sting, stung.
Sting, sting, stung. How about ouch?
Yeah, ouch.
Ouch!
We have an EpiPen.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh.
To be or not to be?
To be or not to be. I like that one. I knew that's what I was. I'm out of bobbin. Gotta change the bobbin. The Hive.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's another movie. That's oh gosh, now I gotta think. What's
Resident Evil.
Resident Evil. Alright.
Be my baby. There you go.
Be my baby.
Warm, warm.
You guys really have a lot of names there. I like the Hive too, yes.
Although this isn't, would it be creepier for that, I think.
Yeah, it would have to be creepier for sure.
Yeah, this one's too nice and cute.
Yeah, this is too beautiful.
That was already one.
Yeah. Wait, what am I on? Okay, I'm on yellow, black, yellow. Whew.
Here's an anaphylactic.
Anaphylactic. If it was a birthday quilt, it could be Happy Bee Day.
Yeah. Got your behind covered.
The Stinger.
The stinger. There you go.
I did it again. Why does that keep happening to me? What's happening is it's stitching on one and pushing the other down. It was pushing the black one towards me and just sewing on the yellow only. So weird. How do you say bee in French? Does anybody know? Or like in Spanish or in a different language? I want to know some different language words for bee because maybe it sounds beautiful. You get it? You know?
Yeah.
I don't speak any other languages besides mumbling. I speak mumble.
It's all the buzz.
Oh, it's all the buzz. That's a good one. What is it?
Aphasia?
Aphasia?
Hive
No.
9. Humble Bumblebee. Mumble Bumble. There you go. Z-Love.
One.
All the buds.
Any questions about anything while I'm still here? This is just guessing, so I don't know how many of each I have. I'm just telling you how many yellows I've cut. And obviously I have the same amount of, well, almost the same amount of black pieces. A Billy? I don't know how to pronounce it because I can't speak French, but that doesn't sound very pretty of a word. All right, so there's 2. Let's see how many more I can make. For every one, I need those. Okay, let's go some more. 1. So this is a black, yellow, black. And this is a yellow, black, yellow. And then this is a black, yellow, black. Okay. That way I have just enough. And then we'll chop it all up and
Be my honey.
be mine. Even though it's not pinks and
Be my honey.
reds, be my honey. That's a good one. This one's
Beaming.
yellow, black. Bee me up, Scotty. Beam me up, Scotty. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this. I have multiple sclerosis, so I have widely searched all sorts of remedies for MS. One of them being bee stings. So those of you who have MS or know someone with them, there has been studies on bee stings for people with MS that have shown really good results. Yeah, even a doctor told me. And I've looked it up and read about it, and guess what? It's a real thing. And it's really cool. So, I mean, I don't want to be stung by 1,000 bees, but you know, you can if you want to, as long as you're not allergic. Yeah, they have a bee stinging for that, which is interesting. I mean, who thought of somebody with MS going and just, they were standing in a swarm of something and then just got a bunch of bee stings and they felt 10 times better. So they said, oh, let's do a study on this. You know what I mean? But I think it only works with honeybees. I don't think it's a thing for, you know, wasps or anything like that. I've dropped something. All right, now for the opposite direction. This is yellow, black, yellow, and these are blacks. For every 2, there's 1. Pretty sure that's how it's going to work out. But you never know because I screw things up all the time.
Well, apparently, according to one lady, you can buy bee venom and it works good for pain.
Bee venom for pain, I've actually read about that.
maybe, maybe not.
All right, and then this one gets the yellow. And then we'll chop them all up and start making more 9 patches. Oops, turn it this way.
Swarm and Snuggly.
Swarm and Snuggly. That one's cool too. All right, so I'm going to finger press, and then I'll press these, and we'll chop them up and put them in 2 stacks and make some more 9 patches. I have no idea how many I'm making because I think apparently I need to make 96 of them. 96 or 97, but somewhere in that vicinity of a number.
All the buzz.
Yep. That pile. That pile. All right. All these pieces I will use still, but right now I'm just gonna set them all aside. All right. Let's make my 2 piles. So let me stagger these on top of each other. And this one that. There. Straighten it out. And grab the ruler. Don't forget, between still going, there is a, you can use, go to Fat Tuesday Fabrics and get yourself, use the code TIFF10, TIFF10, to get yourself 10% off of your order. Got a lot of cute stuff on there, especially if you're in Louisiana and you like all the Louisiana prints. This one went wonky. So I'm going to slide that over, turn it around, and unwonkify it. All right, there we go. And yes, I probably should be using my Stripology thing, but
You're quicker this way.
I'm quicker this way, so I'm not having to count over numbers. All right. This is a yellow. out of my way for a moment. Slide that all the way out of the way now. And stagger these. So I have twice as many of the black, yellow, black combos. Because when I just cut them and sewed them, I did for every 2 black combo, I did 1 yellow. And we'll just finish sewing up these 9 patches. And whatever I don't finish today, we will work on in the next episode, which will be the 3rd Thursday of May, which I don't even know the date right now for that.
The next breakfast at Tiffany's?
Yeah.
The 15th.
The 15th will be the next breakfast at Tiffany's. So whatever we don't finish today, we will finish then. And wow, did that
You're practically done.
get messed up. Yet it's still straight. Is that so weird?
Where do you look to estimate the yardage for double wedding ring?
Where do I look to estimate the yardage for the double wedding ring? In the back of my book. Oh, what?
Where would another person that wants to follow along do?
Oh.
I want to know how much yardage they need.
I don't know how much yardage you need. I don't know what size quilt you're making.
Well, that's what they're asking.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I always assume if you're making like a lap quilt, you need like 5-6 yards. If you're making a full or queen, you need 8 to 12 yards. It just depends on what you're using to make your quilt. And these are all trash because none of that's 1 inch. It just depends. It depends. I mean, and a king size, I used like 13 or 14 yards on the that big huge 120 inch by 120 inch. That was just on the top.
Yeah, that went through a lot of fabric.
That one went through a lot of fabric. My Mariner Compass Star. I mean, so it depends on the pattern. It depends on whatever. I'm using scraps and I'm making a queen size. So I'm using like 85 different scrap colors, 5 or 6 yards of a background, and 2 yards of my 2 accent colors each. And the rest is all scraps. All right. Now to sew. So my double wedding ring is going to be awesome. You'll find out when I start it on Sunday. Because we're doing the whole entire process, start to finish. Well, I pressed the fabric in advance only because that really needed to be done, but that was an off-camera kind of thing. But we're going to cut with you. I'm going to do all the cutting and everything with you guys. Because I'm learning with you all. And that starts on Sunday, which is the 4th. May the 4th be with you.
What pattern are you using?
I decided on...
Are you doing traditional?
Yes, I'm doing traditional, but I'm just going to show you guys one more time. I decided which one I wanted to do from the book itself. I really wanted to do the Renaissance Romance, but I'm just going to do the scrap double wedding ring traditional style with a light background, because it does tell you can use a dark background too. So, but I'm doing a light background. So that's what I'm doing from my book. That's what I'll be doing. Obviously, you guys will find out on Sunday what all colors and stuff I'm using. have everything in a tub right there, easy to get to, so that way it's ready to be started. And I need to adjust my seat because apparently it likes to move around. I think this is going to be adorable. These 9 patches was a good idea.
It is.
To add to it. You know that I can't just have a small quilt. It has to be bigger. So whatever I can do to make something bigger, I got to add to it. Even though I could have just sewn the charm squares together and called it a day, I got to go above and beyond. That's what I do. And I'm glad I chose black, yellow, black because it looks better than having the yellow on the edges instead.
It would have been too light the other way. You needed.
Yeah, I needed the dark. Yeah, the other way would have just been weird. For the purposes of today, though, I'm going to turn this around, add to the other side of all these, press them and put them on the wall.
What was the repeat on the fabric roll?
The repeat on the fabric roll? I actually have no idea. When I unrolled it to choose fabric for it, the roll itself, they weren't in any specific order because I got down to like 30 pieces worth of unrolling, and there was only like 2 or 3 repeats, but they weren't repeated in the same order. They were all completely in a totally different order. As if, when you sew them together without seams, like if you were to just sew it together in rows, chop a bunch off and make a row, they were set up like as if you already placed them in weird spots. So they were definitely not in a order. But there are a lot of repeats of the same ones. They just weren't in a specific order on there, on the roll when I unrolled it.
While you're doing that,
Oh, he's going to take you up and show you. The camera's moving the blocks on the wall closer because some of them are white and it's hard to see.
That way you can see the bees.
That way you can see the bees and the cutesy fabric.
See how much it repeats.
And then obviously I added my one fabric to it, which I will use for a border as well. But I only cut one 5-inch strip off of it, so that way it wasn't overwhelming with the bees that I added. It just makes everything flow together. He's moving the camera still.
I'm moving it back.
Back to where it was. I just meant the camera's still moving for those that look away when the camera is moving because of dizziness. All right, 2 more, and then I'll press these, and then we'll finish more by next time. And actually, I probably might finish the 9 patches just to know how many more, and then we'll put the thing together next video. Because I don't, and then I'll be able to have a final count of how many 9 patches I made. So far I cut 20 yellow inch strips, so obviously I have an equal number of black strips, if that makes any sense, because I was able to use those. I probably should have pulled out my thingamabobber, but now I'm almost done doing this. Sorry guys, I actually have a cold right now. Thought that I would be okay not coughing through today's video, but apparently it's not stoppable, and I know it's loud in the mic when I do. A couple more left to press. I think this black fabric was a backing left over from a backing, because I remember using this, like, I don't know, but I was able to chop it into 2-inch strips, so that's a plus. I think it was a backing fabric. All right, 2 more to press, and then I will put these on the wall. All right, plus the one that we had already. Let's fill this in more.
Getting there.
It's getting there. I don't know how many more I'm going to need to make, but I think I'll have to lay it out, or I can, I'm just going to put these on the wall, every other one, for a second. I think what I can do is lay them on, all of it onto the wall, every single, piece, and then count, because my brain sees it once it's there. So then I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then however many I need for the next. You know what I mean? I don't see it unless it's laid out. I know a lot of you are like that too, just like me. So just for shoots and giggles, we're gonna put this all here for a second, get a general idea. I'm not really gonna go all the way to the floor just yet. Let's put one of these on this side. There's none of these on this side of the quilt. But this is just a general idea.
B9. The 9 patch.
Oh yeah, B9. That's good. So I mean, for now, even with what I have here, I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18. So I need 18 more of these just with what's on the wall now. And I'm pretty sure I have enough with what's here to get the 18 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's see what I got here. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 worth. So I have 25 worth there. So I just need to make some more so that way I can go until there's no more of these left. I think it's going to be adorable.
It's coming out a lot bigger than I thought.
Yeah, it's good. Like I said, it's going to be a lap quilt. So I'll probably add to that side and that side instead of going too far up because I can't reach that far anyway. But that's what I'll do is I'll figure out how many more of these units I need to make to get every other block made with having a 9 patch. Oh, and look, one fell on the floor. There was one just sitting there on the floor. Look at that. How funny. So we'll place that in. Any more on the floor? I mean, I dropped so many things. All right. So yeah, I'll figure out by next week. But for now, I'm going to write down that I used 20 yellow strips so far. And technically 20 black strips so far. But some of them were half strips. So we're just going to put 20 black strips too. All right, so that way by the time I'm done, I'll know how many strips I've cut and then how many combos I need to make. I have no idea, but because I didn't count how many I cut in that full-length strip. I don't know. I'll just know how many strips you need, and then you can just make combos. All right, any questions before I get off of here? Ugh, clean this up. I'm going to grab my eyeballs for a second. Oh, it looks so cool on the wall. I don't see any questions. All right, guys. Well, that's all I got for today. Next, the 15th is the third Thursday of the month. Then we will continue on. Hopefully by then I'll have the 9 patch part done because they take a while to do. And I'll have my figure out of how many 9 patches I made. And then I'll cut a full length strip and find out how many of each I cut off of it. That way I can find out how many combos need to be made between the black and the yellow. I'll do that math. You know, I'll write it down. Other than that, there's really everything is kind of self-explanatory when it comes to putting it all together. All right, so that's it. Thank you guys for hanging out. I hope you had a good breakfast with me. I know I'm going to go have a good breakfast because now it's time to eat food. Actual food, not fabric. Anyways, see you guys later. Bye.